Question 48 from the Book of Questions. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as your dinner guest, as your close friend, as your lover? Asterisk. The asterisk refers to the addendum. What do you seek in a friend, yet neither expect nor want in a lover? Are you attracted to people who are healthy for you to be around? Okay, we'll do that later. Well, you must understand that I'm British. In Britain, we have a radio show that I think is one of the longest radio programmes in existence, called Desert Island Discs. And they ask you, what book would you like? You get to choose one book to take with you to the desert island. And they say you've got the complete works of Shakespeare and the Bible and a third book. What's your third book? And the reason they phrase it that way is that it would be really boring if almost everyone said, oh, I'll take the complete works of Shakespeare, or I'll take the Bible. I haven't really learned very much about you. So they say, okay, what's your third book? Now, in Britain, it's sort of, I think it's a legal obligation to say Stephen Fry for a dinner guest. So, let us imagine that that's taken as read. I get Stephen Fry and someone else. I'm not sure that I would pick Stephen Fry, actually, but he's still a good one. I wouldn't turn you away, Stephen, if you want to come around for dinner. Anyway, well. Dinner guest, close friend, lover. Dinner guest is very different. Let's look at the priorities for dinner guest. I would say that I would almost certainly want someone really famous, because a dinner guest, you may only meet them once, and you get to, for the rest of your life, to say, oh, once I had round to dinner, I had, and who would you pick? Well, if you could pick anyone from the whole of history, pretty difficult to beat Winston Churchill, wouldn't he? I mean, he's just so stupendously famous, and everyone wants to, oh, what did he say? What did he say? But that's sort of cheating. That's not. I haven't been given that power from the book to pick anyone from anywhere in history. So actual people who are alive today and their current age, because that makes a difference too. Well, I suppose being selfish, I might want to pick someone who'd be really good for my career. If I ever want to make movies, then maybe I should invite someone who's really powerful in the world of movie making. But anyway, dinner guest, I want to pick someone famous. Who might that be? I don't know. Yes, film stars and artists and the like, very tempting. Simon Pegg, if you're watching, you're welcome. I do a pretty mean apple crumble. And Hugh Laurie, I think is, I find Hugh Laurie very affable. And Hugh Grant is, I imagine, a pretty good dinner guest. He's someone who's very amusing, and I would imagine it'd be easy to get to hold forth and regale us with lots of anecdotes. So yes, someone famous and probably connected with the world that I would love one day to be a part of with film and the like. Selfish, perhaps, but I don't know. I think if I had invited 8 of my friends round to dinner and I got a major movie star, I don't think they'd complain. So not entirely selfish. As your lover, now obviously very different. Thing is that, right, there are loads of people that you think, oh, I'm really attracted to that person, but I'm attracted to them in that film. So, for instance, if you're making a rom-com, it is the job of the love interest to make the audience fall in love with her, so that we want the hero of the piece to end up with her. So, for instance, this is a big problem with Four Weddings and a Funeral, because there's Christine Scott Thomas right there. She's in love with him, and he gets off with that awful American woman who obviously married for money, that Scott, and she divorces him so casually, and then turns up to his wedding to what? Disrupt it? She's an awful woman. And you could have had Christine Scott Thomas, who's A, in love with her, and B, Christine Scott Thomas. But whereas Emma Thompson in one of my favourite films, The Tall Guy, it was originally entitled The Camden Town Boy, but they changed it when they got Jeff Goldblum always good value, to play the lead. So you want Jeff Goldblum to end up with Emma Thompson. So it's Emma Thompson's job to make the audience fall in love with her. And she did very well. So I fell in love with Kate Lemon. Kate Lemon was the character she was playing. I got a strong feeling that Emma and I wouldn't really click in real life. Sorry, Emma, but I believe it was Stephen Fry, actually, who described you as mad as an actress. And beside you're, I don't know, you must be 60-something now. So even if I could choose to have you, a younger version of you, I'm, sorry, I don't wish to spurn you. And you'd be welcome round to dinner, by the way. But no, not going to pick Emma Thompson. I remember I quite fancied Emma Freud in her youth. The diction. She used to do lots of voiceovers for adverts. I could listen to that voice. The diction she had was just wonderful. And Celia Johnson, of course, brief encounter, but she's dead now, so wouldn't even make a very good dinner guest. Sorry, Celia. So I think with Lover, not famous. If she's famous, loads of other people are going to want her. If she's really attractive, any attractive woman, loads of other people are going to find her attractive. So that makes her really difficult to get, already. But if she's famous on top of that, near impossible. So it would actually be, for Lover, it would be an anonymous woman. Anonymous not just to you, but probably to me as well. I probably haven't met her yet. So I'd like her to come round to dinner as well and meet one of the Hughes. And let's say we really hit it off. So what does that leave? Close friend. Ooh, that's harder. Because that's a lot harder, because now I could be really genuinely selfish. I could pick someone who's a big hitter in the world of movies, because I think, well, if he were my close friend, he might be able to, but that's not that. I don't feel good now picking that person, because that's a show of such perhaps reprehensible self-interest that I perhaps shouldn't admit to it in public, and this is definitely public. But and someone who've got lots of life ahead of them. So I wouldn't pick David Attenborough. Sorry, David. I mean, we all love you to bits. National treasure. He's another standard person to pick as a dinner guest, but he's really quite old at time of recording. So I don't think I could count on him to be my close friend for many decades to come. Though I wish you many decades to come, Sir Richard. No, Sir David. Mixed him up with his brother there. So someone younger. So Edgar Wright. You're a big hitter, and you'd be welcome. Bring your friend Simon. That was a show of selfishness there. But I don't have to make this choice publicly, because at the moment it's just a fantasy choice, right? And if I ever do get to pick the dinner guest, then yeah, some big hitter from the movies. Now, what do you seek in a friend, yet neither expect nor want in a lover? Well, sex. That one's pretty easy, really. I don't expect all my friends to have sex with me, and I imagine that'll be a great relief to all of them. And as for, if you flip it round, though, not what it says here, but if you flip it round, what would I don't expect my lover to be tremendously interested in tanks, for instance. Whereas, a decent friend of mine, I'd probably want to be able to talk to him about tanks, maybe at quite some considerable length. But in order to be my lover, no, you don't have to be fascinated by tanks. In fact, I think if you were, I might even find that a little bit, only a little, off-putting. So if you are fascinated by tanks and want to be my lover, don't feel that you have to hide it necessarily, but don't either think that it's going to be a tremendous advantage. There is this modern idea that the spouse should be all things to us, should tick all the boxes, should be interested in all the things we're interested in, should be good company for us under all circumstances. We should want to be with them at all times. What rot! And this is a very modern idea. We live in these tiny boxes now, more and more alone. Nuclear families are getting more and more nuclear, and more people are living alone, and they want someone. If you are lonely in every way, living in your little box, it's, I suppose, understandable. You might want someone to make you not lonely in every single possible context. not just the bedroom, but every time you go on holiday, you will naturally want to go on holiday with that person. And I think this is possibly a mistake that society is making. We're expecting too much out of one person. It's surely better to marry someone who's very compatible with you in this, that, and the other ways, and then perhaps go off to your gentleman's club or the pub or whatever, somewhere else, and get the company that suits you, that you can get there instead, with people who are specialists in that sort of company. So don't want the whole package. Now then, are you attracted to people who are healthy for you to be around? Well, of course, I couldn't know, could I? Although I could guess that, yeah, broadly, I think most of my friends are not terrible to me. I mean, have they led me astray into this into this life of YouTubery? I don't feel that I've been manipulated by my friends, frankly, into it. I've been manipulated into it by circumstance. I never set out to be a YouTuber, but lots of people started watching my YouTube videos, and that ended up paying the rent. And so then after a bit, I have to carry on being a YouTuber. So, so you lot suckered me into this life, but I'm not complaining. There aren't many lives I'd swap this for. Are these people healthy for me to be around? I think mostly yes, but I would point out that I couldn't know, could I? It could be that I've been held back from a much better life that I would now be living were it not for those fiends who were perhaps well-meaning. There are perhaps people who are not healthy to be around because you want them too much and you can't get them. So if there's someone you want to be your friend, and that you're the really cool person, and you're so desperate for them to be your friend, but they're never going to be your friend, that could just be a source of frustration. I've been, actually harking back to an earlier part of this question, I've been disappointed a few times when I feel that I have, actually the one I fancy in that girl band is not the obvious one or the second, or I actually fancy the short one on the end, and I'm really disappointed later to find out that everyone else fancies her as well. I think I've got these there's something in her I've spotted that is uniquely makes us compatible in a way, but yeah, I'll let other people compete for the more obvious ones, and then drat it, they're all competing for her too. So yes, in that movie, there's several women in it, but actually the one I fancy is the funny-looking. Oh, you too? Oh, and it's that funny-looking one who then goes on to become a star because it seems that loads of other people fancied her as well. If a woman is tremendously attractive, there's going to be an awful lot of competition for her. I suppose if there's someone that I would want as a lover, but I'm never going to win her, maybe it's not healthy for her to be around. But how could I know that either? Lindy!